he stood on the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that is a stone that today that stands in the bedrocks of our minds and of our hearts. And that's one that we should not forget, that God is still God. He's an awesome God. He's a mighty God. He's the God of the civil rights movement. He's the God of Rosa Parks. He's the God of the blood of the martyrs that still stains the grounds down in the South. And their blood still cries out today to us as a memorial that love and justice are the characters of our God. I'm just getting started here. I'm getting to tell my age. I told you I'm just a preacher. I told you I'm just a preacher. And so there's something about a memorial, setting up a memorial that the past allows us to remember. And when we look back at the life of Martin Luther King, we can see a legacy of unity, because it wasn't just a black thing. There were just as many whites that came down from the north and who marched and who put their lives on the line. It wasn't just a man thing, because there were so many women who were living in a time, come on now, women, where their rights were not as equal as the men, but yet they put their lives on the line. It wasn't just a South thing, because there were many. They came down from the northern states, from Detroit, they came down from New York, and they put their lives on the line. It wasn't a Presbyterian thing. It wasn't a Catholic thing. It wasn't a Baptist thing. It wasn't a Methodist thing. But it was a thing of unity, and everybody knows justice, and everybody knows love, regardless of what denomination you come from. And so there's a stone today that stands in the memorial that is a stone of unity. The stone that also stands in the movement that Martin Luther King raised up was the stone of love. He chose a path of nonviolence. You know, violence is a quick and easy remedy. It's a quick and easy tool to pull up out of your belt. I see it every day as I'm ministering to many women and children who are suffering at the hands of abusers. We've seen it tragically in this community or in this country in tragedies like Sandy Hook. We've seen it in malls where people are going and shooting others in massive destructions like we've never seen before. We've seen despair and tragedies that have hit our country in unprecedented measures. But yet I still look back and I see that stone of love sitting on top of the stone of unity. And I have hope today. And that's the memorial that he laid before us. And there's something about those memorials that is laid up from the civil right of justice. That justice, no matter what your creed and no matter what your ethnicity and no matter where you come from, if you come from the right side of the track or if you come from the left side of the track, come on now. You know, the thing that I understand here in the St. Louis metro area, it took me a while to get used to it because I came from Detroit. I was in corporate America for about 20 years. And so I come here and they're asking me about my high school. What do I know about my high school for? I mean, that's the time I really try to block out, you know. Some of you may try to block it out too. You know, you see people in high school, because I knew you in high school, and you just turn around and walk the other way. Oh, and you see some of them here today, and you trying not to look over there, and you're trying not to look over there. But that's all right. That's all right. Just look at that stone of love, and it'll help you today. Oh boy, I got myself on that one. But anyway, we look at Martin Luther King and we see this memorial and we are reminded of the confidence that it gives us to move forward for the future. Because in the text here, the memorial was to remind them to push forward. See, the danger in always looking toward the past is that you always stay in the past. The children of Israel, as you go further on in text, Gilgal was so important to them later on that if you look into the prophetic books of Amos, that God had to tell them, seek the Lord and live. Stop looking to Bethel and stop looking to Gilgal and stop looking to Bathsheba, because when you look back too long, you can't go forward. Have you ever seen somebody trying to progress and they're looking back? You can't go forward too fast when you're looking back. You're liable to stumble over some things. You're liable to trip over some things. You're liable to miss some things. And you just may miss something that God has stored up for you along the way because you're looking back too long. And so our challenge today is to not be stuck in looking at the memorial when God is saying move forward. I just believe in this country today that the memorial of the civil rights movement that was led by Martin Luther King and others is a memorial for us that will push us forward into the country, forward in this country. It is a push forward of love and unity and justice. But if we will just move forward together, and I think sometimes the challenge is, how do you move forward from here? How do you move forward from here? It was so clear and it was so easy in the past and it was marked out. And the danger of a memorial is that you try to replicate what happened in the past. Well, I'm here to tell you today, and the children of Israel found out, it's a new thing. God is doing a new thing. Because today it's not a black issue, and I'm sorry to dismay some people with that, but it's not a black issue, it's not a white issue, it's not a red issue, it's not an Indian issue, it is a people issue. Because I have something to tell you. On the same day that a young man walked into an elementary school in Connecticut and devastated the lives